The sound of a gold fountain, pen scratching against paper, felt like a gunshot in the silent room. My husband, Richard, didn't just sign the divorce papers, he did it with a smirk. $5,000, Stella, he whispered, sliding a measly check across the mahogany table like he was tipping a waiter. Take it and disappear. You're a penniless nobody, and frankly, you're dead weight to my brand. He thought he was winning. He thought he was leaving a pitiful book restorer in the dust. He had no idea that the manila envelope the judge was about to open contained a secret worth $1.2 trillion. By the end of this hour, Richard wouldn't just be single. He would be destroyed. If you've ever been underestimated, disrespected, or treated like dirt by someone you sacrificed everything for, this story is for you. I'm going to tell you exactly how I turned my husband's ultimate victory into a financial nightmare he'll never wake up from. Before we get to the moment his smug smile froze forever, hit that like button and subscribe. Let's show the world that the quiet ones are the ones you should fear the most. The air conditioning in the mediation room was set to 60 degrees, but the real chill was coming from the man sitting across from me. At 35, Richard was the golden boy of Silicon Valley venture capital. His suit cost more than my car, but I remembered when that suit was a clearance rack special-eyed ironed in our cramped one-bedroom apartment while I worked 3 jobs to pay his tuition. I was the engine, he was just the hood ornament. I'm closing a $500 million funding round next week. Stella, Richard said, leaning back. I'm entering the elite circle. I can't have a wife who fixes moldy books in a basement. You bring no value to my life. No value. I looked at the $5,000 check. It was an insult to 7 years of my life. Behind him, his brother-in-law Jamal, a loud-mouthed crypto bro in a knockoff gold watch, let out a booming laugh. Come on, Richard. Stop playing with the charity cases. Sign the paper so we can go to that Michelin star dinner. We can't bring the thrift store queen with us. Then the doors swung open. Sienna, 28 years old, dripping in designer brands and the daughter of a banking CEO. She was the reason for this divorce. She walked straight to Richard and kissed him right in front of me. Am I late, baby? She purred. Daddy just approved your bridge loan. The money is locked in. She looked at me like I was a stray dog. She reached into her bag, pulled out a $100 bill, and tossed it onto the table. Take a premium cab home, Stella. Don't take the bus today. You look depressed enough as it is. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I picked up the $100 bill, folded it neatly, and put it in my purse. Are you sure this is your final offer, Richard? I asked softly. Sign the paper, Stella, he snapped. Sign away your rights to my future millions and get out of my sight. I signed. With those few strokes of ink, I officially waived my rights to his venture capital money. But more importantly, he had just signed a document that legally severed his right to touch a single penny of my undiscovered assets. 5 to 9 o'clock, the reveal, the chairwoman awakens. The moment I stepped out of that courthouse, the heartbroken wife persona evaporated. I stood taller. My hands stopped shaking. I pulled out a phone, not my cracked personal one, but a sleek, encrypted device that didn't exist on the public market. Mr. Sterling, I said, my voice turning to ice. Richard just signed the waiver. Unlock the Aegis Global Trust. It's time to acquire his firm. You see, Richard thought I was an orphan with nothing. He didn't know I was the sole heir to the patents that run the world's AI infrastructure. I went back to our house to pack, but Richard's mother, Brenda, was already there. She was throwing my professional book restoration tools onto the lawn like they were trash. Sienna is a high-class woman, Brenda sneered, kicking a delicate antique magnifying glass. She can elevate Richard. You were just an anchor. Every tool you just threw, I said calmly, is a registered historical artifact. They are insured for more than your son's entire net worth. Suddenly, the ground began to vibrate. 3 jet-black, armored military-grade trucks roared into the driveway, boxing in Sienna's red Porsche. 12 men in immaculate black suits stepped out. The leader walked past a frozen Brenda and Sienna and bowed 90 degrees to me. "Good afternoon, Madam Chairwoman," he said. "The transfer of the $1.2 trillion holding company is complete. Where to next?" The fault lines. Richard and Jamal arrived just in time to see the repo men, as they called them, packing my things into climate-controlled vaults. "I knew it." Richard laughed. "You're in massive debt. They're repossessing your junk." I didn't correct him. I just got into my Maybach and drove away. Over the next 48 hours, I used the Aegis Global Tablet to dismantle their lives. Asterisk Jamal. His crypto empire was built on Aegis global servers. I terminated his contract for high-risk violations. He was millions in debt by Sunday. Asterisk Sienna's father. His bank was over-leveraged. They owed hundreds of millions to an institutional lender. That lender? Me. I initiated a massive margin call. I demanded every cent back by Monday. Monday night, Richard was hosting a gala to celebrate his new life. He was wearing a tuxedo, acting like a king, waiting for a representative from Aegis Global to arrive and fund his dreams. He saw me in the VIP lounge, wearing a custom emerald gown and diamonds that could buy his hotel. "Stella," he gasped, his face pale. "How did you get past security? Are you stalking me?" "I'm not stalking you, Richard," I said, sipping champagne. "I'm your anchor investor." The CEO of the bank, Sienna's father, rushed up, looking like he'd seen a ghost. "Richard, we're ruined. Aegis Global called in the loans. The bank is folding." Richard looked at me, then at the trustees standing behind me. The realization hit him like a freight train. "You," he stammered. "The book restorer, the archives." "I restore history, Richard," I said, leaning in. "And today you're history. You signed the waiver. You have no claim to my wealth. And since I just bought your firm's debt, you work for me now. Or rather, you did. You're fired." Richard, Sienna, and Jamal were escorted out of the building by the same security team they had mocked on my lawn. They went from the elite to the sidewalk in under 5 minutes. Justice isn't always fast, but when it arrives, it's absolute. Richard thought he was trading up for a valuable partner, only to realize he had thrown away the only person who actually made his life possible. If you enjoyed this payoff, smash that like button. Have you ever seen someone's arrogance come back to haunt them? Let me know in the comments. And remember, never mistake a person's silence for a lack of power.